Bitcoin daily update. We're here Monday, July 3rd, just before the American 4th of July holiday. We have a special card of the day at the end of the video, quote of the day, all that as well. But let's get started on Bitcoin and see just what we're doing over the past, since we've last talked last Friday. We've had a monthly close, weekly close. So let's look at all that. If you find the video helpful or like it, please feel free to leave a thumbs up and leave a comment down below what you want to see next. And let's get right to it. So the daily chart, after our move off of the lows of 24.9, we're now back up above all moving averages and trending sideways. The consolidation after the big move, that's absolutely normal and to be taken, just look at the last time we did it right over here. Right, so the big move up, consolidation sideways before your next decision move in a bigger way, usually up or down. Right, not a whole lot is gonna go other different than that. Right, it's coin toss, up or down. Which way are we going? You have to lean towards where the most evidence is. And what do we have now? Well, we're in an uptrend all of 2023. We're above our moving averages on the daily, and we've just, we're rhyming with this. History doesn't always repeat, but it does often rhyme. I mean, look at the fractal nature of this pattern, right? The move up, sideways consolidation above all moving bands, right? Moving averages. A retest, look at the EMA 14, right? We came back down and tested right off the EMA 14 before moving back up. Look at this one, right? Moving down to the EMA 14 before moving back up. Right, so it doesn't have to rhyme exactly, but so far so good. We're on a waiting look at how these Bollinger Bands started pinching here. Look how tight they got here before, as soon as what does that mean? Well, if you're new, Bollinger Bands, right, express volatility. So the more open they are, the more volatile prices can be. But as they close, right, less volatility leads to bigger volatility. So that's kind of what we're waiting for. You can see this upper Bollinger Band. Let's see, right now on the daily chart, just shy of 33K. So if we do move up like today, tomorrow, not likely because of holidays, that would be, an initial kind of a hesitation area I would look for. 32 to 33K is bigger kind of resistance on the weekly and monthly time frames, which we'll get into just moments. But you always want to weigh the odds of bulls and bears, right? If you're just leaning bullish or always leaning bearish, you're doing yourself and your viewers an injustice, right? You have to weigh the odds, just like a court system, right? Whoever has the most evidence wins, usually. Again, nothing's 100% usually, right? 100% is out the window for anything in crypto or trading. So the bulls would argue move up, right? You're above all your moving averages. That's a check mark for the bulls. You're holding above the EMA 8, right? Holding good support. That's a win for the bulls. You're in an uptrend for 2023. Win for the bulls. You're in an uptrend even on the daily chart. I mean, and pretty much all time frames. Win for the bulls, right? The bears, where would they argue? Well, they don't have a whole lot to go on. But if I was in a bearish sentiment and I'd be looking for bearish thoughts, well, these up thrusts, right? See these even though they're big green buy candles, they're selling off into the close, right? So here's a big move up, selling off into the close, move up, selling off into the close. So that tells me there's some, sellers up here, right? This candle right here is an indecision candle. It's not bullish or bearish, right? Long-legged doji represents indecision. The bulls are still winning here, right? And after a move like this, to just not give anything back is more bullish as well. But the bears, if you could argue anything, it'd be the up thrust, right? You don't have a whole lot of lower wicks, right? Like we did back here, right? Look at all these lower wicks and upper wicks, pretty equal. So that's where I would argue a little bit for the bears that, we're not seeing these strong closes like this one, right? When you have this big move up and very little upper wick, right? That's bullish, right? Okay, so let's zoom out to the weekly, try to waste a little more of your time as possible. The weekly candle close right here. And what does this mean? Bulls or bears, right? From our last, what we just looked at is quiz time, right? Indecision, right? It's not bullish or bearish, but if you had to lean one way or another, gun to your head, a little bit more bullish. Why? And again, uptrend all of 2023. You're above all your moving averages. And what else am I going to say here? You closed higher than the previous week. You closed higher than your previous local high, right? That's 2 consecutive back-to-back weeks of closing higher than we've closed before, right? Good sign, right? That's also a win for the bulls. Okay. Nice bounce off support. Macro structure of the support, 25K level to 200 week down here in the pink. Everything's looking good. If we come back down, say we don't go up again, even though that's probably the odds at this point, a little bit further upside, 32K seems to be a decent level, right? You want to always zoom out and look left. Did we hit it before? In years past, weeks past, months past. If you struggle to find support and resistance, you could put it on closing prices. It makes it a little bit easier for you. This blue right there, and if you draw this over, right, we're seeing multiple week closes kind of right in that area of right around the 32K, 32.5, right? That's going to be a decent resistance zone if we are to make a move up, in the not so distant future, this week probably, right? That would be kind of where I would see some further hesitation if Bitcoin prices close above that, right? Close, not wick, but close above that. There's not a whole lot more resistance between, 32 to 36, 37K, right? There's your next zone up there. So keep that in mind. If we blow through this and close up here at 33K, you know that the bigger bulls are here and probably going to continue that momentum. But is that the odds? I'm not so sure. We have indecision after a pretty substantial move, right? So 24K to 31K. And like basically a 1 week is pretty great. And, just more consolidation is probably the odds. A couple, maybe another week or two of sideways, kind of like we did here, right? The move up from March and then 1, 2, 3 weeks sideways pretty much with some volatility, right? Just like last week, right? We had some moves up and moved down, but nothing crazy, right? Absolutely normal so far. We are in a bull trend. We are in an uptrend. So if we get a move down, EMA 8, that's where I'd be looking to accumulate more. You want in a bull market and an uptrend, you want to be buying the dip. You don't want to be buying the dip in a bear market. You want to be selling the rip. Sell the rip in bears, buy the dip in bulls, right? That's what you're doing. So EMA 8, 28,888, that's where we are as of this week, right? If we move down, right, that'll go down a little bit. So I would look at a buy zone, right? If you're still sidelined with some money, you don't want to be too greedy, right? Yeah, there's a lot of people going to be waiting for these prices, not just you. So anywhere in that zone, even with a wick, I would say, if you have a stack of cash on the sides, that's where I'd be looking to start to come back into the market a little bit more. Here, you can do it. But it's a little risky, right? Because it's kind of a coin toss. Even by definition, the bears and the bulls don't know where they're going, right? As of last week. Indecisive, we could absolutely go to 32. We could absolutely come back to 28 this week or next. But the odds are more of sideways consolidation because of this move. So we'll see where we go as of next week, right? We'll do another update Monday. We'll do another update Wednesday, right? Tomorrow's holiday here. Happy 4th of July for those in America. Otherwise, it's a regular Tuesday probably, and you don't care. But the markets will likely be very dull tomorrow. A lot of people, look forward to this day. So, if we go down, right, by the time you watch this, if we're at 28.9, we're in that zone, right? This zone's not going to change. So the weekly chart, anything in here, I'm accumulating personally, not financial advice, but I would suggest you do the same in a bull market. Don't be too greedy. That's my kind of words for the next 2 years. Don't be too greedy on trying to wait for lower and lower prices, right? You can get a reversal very quickly in a bull trend. So if we come down here, dips are welcomed in a bull market. Where could I see a wick? Could we go lower than this with a wick? Of course, wicks can go freaking anywhere, man. So wicks are crazy. You want to be watching for close and try to interpret the charts for Japanese candlesticks. That's what we're looking at. Wicks, could they go lower than this zone? Absolutely. Maybe the 100 week, right? We're looking at right at 27,750 as of right now, that blue line. That's the 100 week EMA. The 200 weeks way the hell down here. Unlikely we're going to hit that again anytime soon. We're probably going to hit it again at some point, not soon, right? You don't get a whole lot of just retests on these bigger moving averages. The double week here, right? The tweezer top before going down and then the move back up. And now we got to revisit. Not likely we're going to hit that again. So you want to focus on, after a big moving average is hit on the weekly scale, you want to focus on smaller moving averages, the 8, the 14, the 21. So the 8 is at what we just saw, 28.8, 28.9 right here, right? The 14's at 28K, right, in the purple. And then the 21 is at 27K for wicks. I'm talking about wicks here, not closing prices. Closing prices is this zone. Wicks, there. So maybe you stagger. You want to maybe do a little bit here, a little bit more at the 14, and just have an open order at the 21. You're not going to time those. So having your orders already in is generally the best way to do it. So Bitcoin currently at 30,740 as of recording. We'll see where we end up closing the week or the day. But again, like I said, probably not going to do a whole lot over the next, today and tomorrow, as most people are off and the markets are generally not quite as busy on volume there. So we've talked about the weekly, we've talked about the daily. Now, as promised on last Friday, we got to talk about the monthly because we closed on Friday. So monthly, we closed. Is it bullish or bearish, right? We got to look at both levels. First of all, let's remove our drawings from the weekly. Obviously bullish. We came down and hit off of the 50-month, that 200 week that we looked at. Also very close to the 50-month EMA. That's the green line, right? Look at the tag here. Look at the tag here. Look at the tag here. Look at the breakthrough here. Look at the bullish retest here, right? Support flips to resistance. Resistance flips to support. On the monthly scale, wick, what are we looking at? Lows, right around that 28K level is also the 21-month EMA. We need to hold this for sure. We likely will, right? After this move up, right? Not just me guessing. The odds are that that holds with a close, the 28.3 level with the 21-month EMA, big time. Not only that, even need more arguments on that. Look at where the rest of the moving averages are. These are monthly moving averages. There's the 20-month SMA, the 21-month EMA, the 14 EMA, the 34 EMA, the 8 EMA. Acts as multiple safety nets around here. If we get anywhere around 28 to 27.5, do not blow it, right? This is a huge safety net. Unlikely we're going under that. That maybe a little bit of my opinion, but also, I mean, look at the charts and the evidence I'm presenting right in front of me here, right? Okay, so the monthly close, the highest monthly close so far in this uptrend in 2023. And, since the bear trend, right? The highest bullish close, I would argue, since our Pico top, right? That was the last time we were like ultra bullish, is in October 2021 on the monthly. That was it, right? And all this other shit was bear market and scary. And now we're back to a little bit happier times, starting of maybe the disbelief mode. And our highest monthly close, I would argue, bullish monthly close, that is, from October 2021. So which way do you lean? Bullish, right? You're above all your moving averages on the monthly. Hello, right? Wake up. Where bears? Where are we going to argue for the bears? There's not a whole lot, again, on the bears can really stand on based on the evidence. You could argue, right, from the bearish standpoint, if you think lower prices are coming, you could argue that this is a massive kind of a wedge or a flag pattern, right? You could argue that. But most bear markets to bull markets have very eerie similarities to that, and most just get disproven. Where would this get disproven? You always have to look at that as well. And if we take out that low right there, it's not the low that does it. I would say if we move any higher, it's like 33K, because in a flag formation, if your price action exceeds half of the flagpole, which I would argue is somewhere very near where we are now, certainly here, then that is invalid, right? Invalid. So if you're going to argue from a bearish standpoint, you need to flip back bearish pretty soon here. If we come up any higher, 33, 34, 35, this goes out the window. And I mean, bears literally have no evidence based on the charts. And if you don't have any evidence based on the charts, you're just trying to fit your narrative, right? So, and that becomes very dangerous. So looking at all previous, cycles here, right? The move down, and then, this kind of the same thing, right? You got to just move down, and then early on, it looks like, oh, maybe we'll get this move down, and then it just becomes invalid, and we just keep going higher. And the move down, and then it's like, when do you invalidate, right? So now, even at this, right, it doesn't look like much, right? I'm just trying to argue for the bearish point, for the, few bears that are still out there. arguing for, 3K is coming. What are you talking about? You're above all your monthly moving averages. You're above all your weekly moving averages. Wake up. It's here, right? Okay. Slow to form, right? We're in the early phases, but don't get swayed by the perma bears. I'm showing you all the evidence for not only bulls, but I'm trying to give evidence to the bears. They just don't have enough, right? As of now. Now, could that start to become invalid? Yeah, but we'll see the signs, right? We'll start breaking and closing below the EMA 8 on the daily, the 14, the 21. Then if you start to do that, then you got to zoom out a little bit more. Are we coming down to a more significant level? These are the things you got to look at, daily, weekly basis, right? As you start to break the lower time frames, you zoom out to the bigger time frames. As you start to approach major levels, you can even zoom in to the 4 hour, the 1 hour. But until you get to those major levels on the bigger charts, you don't need to, right? Just keep it nice and easy, easy breezy, right? So hopefully this helps. Daily updates. Hopefully they're not all this long, but a little bit longer because of the monthly close, the weekly close. But try to keep them under 8 to 10 minutes normally. I know this one's approaching 16, 17. So let's. If you have any questions on this, you want to see something else, I'm happy to do it. Altcoin requests, we'll do that as the market starts picking up more. Going into later this week, maybe I'll do some altcoin requests. So get those in. Let's get to our crypto fear and greed index. We're still somehow at 62 on greed. A little concerning there. But we can go much higher. We haven't been this high in a while, so it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to come back down. We're just now into greed, right? So we can get cranked out a lot more. Altcoin season index, Bitcoin index, right? Still Bitcoin season, but we're starting to show signs of altcoins maybe approaching, right? You're seeing like this chart, right? We're low, we're coming up, we've made a little bit of a higher high, we're coming down, and then we're making a higher low. So far, what I'd like to see is us take this out, and then I would think altcoins could maybe start to really get moving. So we're looking at 22. We'll check, see where we are after today, tomorrow, right? It looks like altcoins are starting to kaboom a little bit, but until we're up here, it's simply not the safest play. Okay, so quote of the day, give me liberty or give me death. Appropriate for the 4th of July, right? Car of the day, this one's a good one. We got America, right? 4th of July, right? Independence Day. How about a Dodge Viper? Wrapped in Captain America stickers, right? But I guess we'll go with it. I mean, American car, American wrap. Why not? If you want another one, I found this one. It's old school. So you got the red, white, and blue with the stars, right? That's pretty cool as well. Pretty bad on. This must have been taken back in early 2000s when this car was. It's pretty pixelated on your like 2 megapixel zoom camera. All right, that's it. I'll end off with that one. Let's get back to this one. That's too pixelated on the other one. All right, we'll end it there. Thanks for watching so long. If you have 57 gold stars to you. Bump from the normal 47, and we'll see you back here on probably Wednesday. Have a happy 4th if you're in the US. Light some fireworks off, just not in your hand.